Marshall. I live in Horseheads, New York in the southern tier. I have a background in earth science and I'm representing Mothers Out Front. Mothers Out Front is a grassroots organization of mothers, and we are advocating for a swift, just, and complete transition off of fossil fuels so that we can preserve a livable climate for our children. Most of all, I'm a mother of 3 beautiful teenagers. Their names are Grace, who's 18, Kate, who turns 17 this Friday, and Charlie, who's 13. And that's the reason that I'm here. My kids are asking us, what are we going to do to preserve a livable climate for them so that they can grow up and have a family and have food and clean water just like we do. And I don't know what to tell them, because I know the technology exists right now for us to get off of our fossil fuel habit. In fact, here in New York State, we're so fortunate. We're sitting on a gold mine of renewable energy. The area off the coast of Long Island is called the Saudi Arabia of wind. The wind power there is sufficient to generate 10,000 megawatts of power. That's about equivalent of 10 gas-fired or dual-fuel power plants. We could have that much wind power going online to our grid within 20 years if we start right now. And we have to do that because there's absolutely no way that our carbon targets will be met without this kind of investment in renewable energy. The Clean Energy Standard has been laid out by the Public Service Commission is just not sufficient. We will not meet even the timid goal of 50% by 2030 under what you've laid out here today. Only Tier 1 reduces our carbon footprint at all. Tiers 2, A, and B, and 3 only maintain the renewables that we're already using. I feel strongly that no money from the Clean Energy Standard should go to propping up failing nuclear power plants. I think that it's a complete contradiction to what the state has stated that they want to do in terms of market-driven solutions. Apparently it's only market-driven when they want it to be. Propping up failing plants is not market-driven. We need to take those funds and invest them in new technology, offshore wind particularly. We can power 40% of the state's energy grid from offshore wind eventually. Mothers Out Front is very concerned, and I am very concerned about the communities that are relying on nuclear power for their tax base and jobs, and we can absolutely devote money from the Clean Energy Standard to transitioning those communities off of nuclear power and onto clean energy jobs for the state or other alternatives. We are very much in sympathy with the IBEW union, and we want them to absolutely be supported in their concerns. But there are other ways other than taking Clean Energy Standard money that absolutely has to go into renewables and using that for nuclear power. Offshore wind has many benefits. Besides being able to power 40% of our electrical grid, it will create thousands of clean energy jobs in the construction phase. Once the upfront high costs of building an offshore wind farm are met, the power is virtually free from then on. The price does not fluctuate as it does for fossil fuels. Offshore wind is peak coincident, meaning that the most wind blows when we need the power the most, unlike onshore wind farms. It has very little environmental impact for birds and bats. It actually benefits many of marine life creatures, providing an artificial reef. It even provides somewhat of a storm surge protection for New York City and Long Island in case of large storms such as Hurricane Sandy. The technology exists now this year. Offshore wind farms, if they were to receive power purchase agreements from the state, we would be able to benefit from federal clean energy tax credits that will be stepped down after 2016. 2016. And so, for many, many reasons, both economic and mostly environmental, it's urgent to take action on this right now. So we would really like to see a specific, large-scale, long-term, megawatt-specific tier in the clean energy standard for offshore wind. I'll just close by saying once again that I'm just one mother standing here, but all over New York State, there are mothers who are quite terrified about the future for their children. And the Public Service Commission has tremendous power to really make a difference. New York State could be a clean energy leader for the whole country. We could lead the way. We need to be bold. We need to be brave. We need to take that action. And thank you very much.